The following is an excerpt from a book written by a monster. At one time, our household consisted of a mother and a father, a boy and a girl, one hamster, one parakeet, one lonely goldfish, and two hopelessly neurotic cats. We all lived together in relative harmony with a minimum of conflict and strife. But there was another member of our family who was less congenial and cooperative. He was a stubborn 12-pound dachshund named Sigmund Freud, Siggy for short.
That's a crazy thing to name your dog.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially your wiener dog.
Yeah. Which is actually kind of funny. Like now that you think about it, now that I
really
realize there's a wiener involved, naming him Freud is really good.
It's very funny, yeah.
Please don't misunderstand me. Siggy was a member of our family and we loved him dearly. And despite his anarchistic nature, I did finally teach him to obey a few simple commands.
But Siggy had to die. Is that where this is going?
Pretty close.
No.
However, we had some classic battles before he reluctantly yielded to my authority. The greatest confrontation occurred when we had been in Miami for a 3-day conference. I returned to observe that Siggy had become boss of the house while I was gone. But I didn't realize until later that evening just how strongly he felt about his new position as captain. At 11 o'clock that night, I told Siggy to go get into his bed, which was a permanent enclosure in the family room. For 6 years, I had given him that order at the end of each day, and for 6 years, Siggy had obeyed. On that occasion, however, he refused to budge. He was in the bathroom, seated comfortably on the furry lid of the toilet seat. That was his favorite. I know.
Oh, I hate when people put carpeting on toilet seats.
That is the worst thing that happened in the 70s and 80s.
Terrible. My parents never did that. They had taste. They had class.
My grandmother had a little fuzzy one, and I'm like, you don't even have a washer and dryer in your unit, you nasty girl.
Oh my God.
Dirty little
that
bird.
Thing was soaked with piss particles.
Oh, absolutely. Her little piss particle carpet and her Celine Dion tapes.
Oh, it's like there's houses with like carpeting in the bathroom, on the floor.
I like literally throw out my carpet bathroom every couple months. I wash it all the time.
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm
because
still
you've got like a rug.
Mm-hmm.
As most people have like a bath mat.
Yeah, it just happens that my toilet is right beside my.
So yeah, you got to throw it out every couple of months.
That's garbage.
Yeah,
that's a piss mat now.
It's disposable.
So that little seat on his furry little seat on the lid, that was his favorite spot in the house because it allowed him to bask in the warmth of a nearby electric heater. On the night of our great battle...
He was cold.
Yeah.
He was just a tiny little
horrible,
wiener.
tiny little dog.
Yeah.
Naked little wiener.
Oh.
I told him to leave his warm seat and go to bed. Instead, he flattened his ears and slowly turned his head toward me. He braced himself by placing one paw on the edge of the furry lid, then hunched his shoulders, raised his lips to reveal the molars on both sides, and uttered his most threatening growl.
Good for him.
I know.
Good for Siggy.
Yeah. I turned and went to my closet and got a small belt to help me reason with old Sig.
Are you fucking kidding? You're going to hit a tiny little dog with a belt? Dachshunds are like this big.
I know. They're the size of a belt. My wife, who was watching this drama unfold, told me that as soon as I left the room, Siggy jumped from his perch and looked down the hall to see where I'd gone. Then he got behind her and growled. When I returned, I held up the belt and again told the angry dog to get into his bed. He stood his ground, so I gave him a firm swat across the rear end, and he tried to bite the belt.
Yeah, of course he did. He's in fight or flight, and he chose fight.
I popped him again, and he tried to bite me. What developed next is impossible to describe. I hate when writers say that.
And then they go on to describe it.
They describe it in clear detail. That tiny dog and I had the most vicious fight ever staged between man and beast.
That is a tiny little dog. What do you mean the most vicious fight
There
ever?
was like men fighting saber-toothed tigers to bring home like
wolves.
brontosaurus meat to their families. And this man is whipping a little German wiener dog with a belt. I fought him up one wall and down the other, with both of us scratching and clawing and growling. Like, this is horrible animal abuse, but the way he's saying he's scratching and growling at this dog, and he's like a 40-year-old Republican.
He's a tiny dog, and what you want him to do is go to bed. Pick him up, take him to the other room, and shut the door.
Yeah. I'm still embarrassed by the memory of the entire scene. Inch by inch, I moved him toward the family room and his bed. As a final desperate maneuver, Siggy jumped on the couch and backed into the corner for one last snarling stand. I eventually got him into his bed, but only because I outweighed him 200 to 12.
Yeah. You can pick him up and put him in bed.
This is not a book about the discipline of dogs, but there is an important aspect of my story that is highly relevant to the world of children.
Yeah, because dogs are like children, or children are like dogs.
Yeah. Just as surely as a dog will occasionally challenge the authority of his leaders, a child is inclined to do the same thing, only more so. It is one of the most frustrating aspects of child rearing that most parents have to discover for themselves. This was an excerpt from The Strong-Willed Child by James C. Dobson. Welcome back to Respect the Dead, the podcast where we don't.
Sweaty, it's no surprise that everybody celebrated your demise, and now worms are eating your eyes. So don't you worry your rotten head as you sleep in your sodden bed. It's time to respect the dead. It's time to respect the dead. It's time to respect the dead.
First of all, that is, I mean, the imagery is actually very funny. Like this man thinking that like the biggest.
It's giving the Flintstones fighting with a saber-toothed tiger,
Except
throwing it
it's
out the
a tiny
window, except
dog.
for it's this big.
It's a teeny tiny little dog who
It's the
can't
least
possibly hurt
weasel.
you, even if it tries. Secondly, the only wiener dog I know in real life is a trans dog because she was assigned male at birth. And then when my boyfriend's friend's family adopted her, the parents were like, what do you want to name him? And the little girl was like, it's not a him, it's a her.
Oh.
And her name is Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
She told me her name is Ruby.
This is what Americans think like parents of trans kids are doing. Like that's 100% where they're like, no, I want a little girl. Okay, so James Dobson had a lot of life and did a lot of harm. So instead of doing like some really stretched out 3-parter, for now, I'm going to talk about his homophobia, which is probably going to take hours on its own. And eventually we're going to get into his misogyny, especially around like a woman's role in the home, and his anti-abortion lobbying, which was a lot of what he was doing, as well as like, there's going to be some overlap, surprise, between misogyny and homophobia.
There always is.
But like, specifically around like sex ed, things like that. There's a lot of overlap between them.
Boys will be boys, but you have to put a penny between your knees.
The kind of things that they're teaching children about, like, you can be any kind of woman you want and you can marry anyone you want, are like, there's a lot of overlap there in what he's fighting against, because that's what he did.
Cute.
He was
So
an
we got a
activist.
little multi-part series on
Yeah, but it's not
James
going to be
Dobson.
this one and then next week the next one.
Yeah, and it's not like chronological.
No,
it's like
absolutely not.
Subject-based. So
This-
you can listen to them out of order.
Yeah. I am going to talk a little bit about his early life, but very little, just enough to inform like
Who he becomes
and how he got into like the positions he did. So James Clayton Dobson Jr.
Clayton.
I don't like it. I also can't picture anything but Disney's Tarzan.
Yeah. I grew up in the South, and there are a lot of Claytons and Clays. It is a very like kind of like white trash name.
It's given crawfish.
Yeah.
I feel like Clayton.
Which also have a lot of those in the South.
I was thinking.
Crawdaddies.
Oh, so he was born in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Many such cases.
1936. His parents were Nazarene preachers, which is like
That's something.
yeah. So they're
Like
basically
Nazareth?
like specifically extra evangelical, but like
Is that Church of the Nazarene or
yeah.
okay?
So what they're doing is they want to convince people to be as evangelical as them. Like it's everybody's position in the church to be an evangelical.
My mom was a Methodist. I mean, I guess she still is. And she went to church religiously. She went to church every Sunday until that one day she came in and the priest was like, not priest, the pastor was like, it is your job to go out and evangelize and create more Christians. And she was like, no, thank you. And then she left. She didn't come back.
No, thanks. That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
He remembers trying to pray even before he could properly speak and claims he committed his... See, this is the thing. These people
I guess
always
it's technically possible.
teach their... Like, they get to create the narrative around their own lives.
Right.
Before you could speak, so how are you praying?
Yeah, I don't know like much about neurology in general or child development in general. So, but I just kind of assumed that like before we are able to, before we like develop language, our thoughts are more like,
yeah. And how would you remember that as praying?
Yeah.
And what is praying if you're not talking to God?
Right.
Since his parents were traveling preachers who went around doing revival meetings, young James often got left with other family members while they were on the road. Just like other Nazarene families back then, they stayed away from dancing and going to movies. And he was pretty focused on his schoolwork, though he definitely went through a rebellious phase as a teen. But like his rebellious phase was like...
Going to the movies.
Like,
it's like, I'm going to go see that new Mickey Mouse flick.
And nobody can stop me. His mom didn't put up with any back talk and was pretty tough when it came to punishment. So she'd grab like a shoe to crack him with or a belt. And he even mentioned getting hit hard with some kind of girdle strap.
And I'm sure he was like, and I turned out just fine.
Oh, they always say that. The people who were like, listen, like, corporal punishment.
Sir, you are dueling with a wiener dog. like you did not turn out just
happened
fine.
To me and I turned out just fine. And I'm like, well, you're on Twitter, so maybe you didn't.
Maybe you didn't.
Yeah. It's kind of ironic that his rough childhood led him to later get into counseling and psychology because he would not learn anything from either of those practices. He would go on to write books about how you should beat your children. Yeah.
And like, it's wild that it drove him to get into counseling and psychology and that he walked away from that being like, actually, my childhood was great. Like...
Looking inward is not like a feature of Republican...
Yeah.
Of their like main Republican personality.
It really is one of those like which way Western abuse victim situations.
He ended up studying psychology because he felt like God was calling him to be a Christian counselor or psychologist.
Which actually like is fine. Like I you know, as long as your education is science-based, the idea of a counselor who also incorporates...
No, but this is like...
Yeah, it's not the right... Like, because I understand that, like, a lot of people who need therapy and a lot of people who come from abusive households also have faith.
Yeah.
So, like, actually having, like, a very good science-based counselor who can incorporate some elements of that for their clients who need it can be a really good thing.
In their modalities.
Yeah.
To use evidence-based and, like...
Yeah.
While mixing in the, like, woo of...
Right.
God wouldn't want you to be ashamed of yourself.
Or like, how can we incorporate some of these evidence-based practices into the, you know, the kind of faith-based practices you do week by week? Like, how can we turn praying into like maybe a moment of self-reflection as well? Yeah. And like,
unfortunately, that's
like
not what a Christian counselor is, because they specifically try to counsel you to abide not incorporating your faith into the practices, but like the practices dictate, or the faith dictates what their practices are going to be. So like, I know that you feel shame about having sex, even though you didn't consent to it, and you should feel that shame because you're going to hell.
I know you struggle with same-sex attraction.
Mm-hmm. And you should struggle because it's the devil trying to trick you into doing something sexy. He ended up studying psychology because he felt like God was calling him to be a Christian counselor. And he went to Pasadena College. That's where he met his future wife, Shirley.
Pasadena is a beautiful city. It's really great. It's a shame about the James Dobson of it all. a great botanical garden there.
I don't love it. I don't love botanical gardens.
Really?
I know you're supposed to, but like if they could put like a TV or something in there, or you know what, live music.
This botanical garden is also attached to, it's the Huntington Library. So it's attached to a library that also has like rare books and like famous pieces of art. So you can do indoor girl stuff too.
Okay.
It's very cool.
There's just so many bugs in a garden. Like if I got it alone, I think I would like it. Like if I could just wander through it alone, but wandering through it and then hearing other people's conversations and like children running by your feet.
You might like Huntington Garden. It's huge. So
Okay.
you get really spread out in there.
Okay.
You can be quiet.
I'll also bring some pylons to make certain areas look like they're closed off, like all the paths
and hang
leading
out
to
there
my
yourself.
little special place.
Yeah.
He went on to get his PhD in psychology in 1967.
I can't believe that man has a real PhD.
Listen, real PhDs aren't that hard to get.
That's what this podcast has taught me. That's what this friendship has taught me.
So, like, there was a lot going on in psychology around this time, especially regarding gay and trans people and like changing definitions of whether these were like afflictions or paraphilias. And I'm not sure when it happened, but actually, I might know that in here. Yeah, I think I'll probably get to it at some point. I don't remember the exact year, but all the like anti-trans organizations and the anti-gay organizations, they go with a completely different, made up, but official sounding like pediatrics board. There's like the American College of Pediatrics and like the American Association of Pediatrics, I think. And one of them is all the right-wing people that left when they said therapists should no longer try and convince children not to be gay. And they split off. And you'll see, like, I don't remember which is which, but I'll say it at some point. But you'll see you'll see a lot of TERFs specifically cite the one that's made up. Like Maria Keffler is like constantly referencing them in her book, and like 3 people in her book, like from the little testimonial, what are they called? When somebody writes like something in favor of your book.
Oh yeah, the review.
There's like a little, like when they put like a little blurb on the front. I can remember the name of that.
Oh, I can't remember.
But yeah, so like a testimonial. There's like 5 people talking about how great the book is, and like 3 of them are from this organization.
Because it looks legit.
And one of them is just like her friend.
Oh my God. I'm gonna start an organization that sounds like a legit organization.
Oh my God.
Just, like,
But
shitpost.
start one that sounds a little right-wing so that you can get money.
Mm-hmm.
Like the California Re-Freedom organization. So it makes it sound like.
But then I'm talking about like
Getting
freedom
rid of Trump.
of expression.
Yeah. Like we want that back.
Yeah.
And protecting families, by which you mean.
Queer families.
Yeah. And only queer families.
As God intended.
And by God, I do mean Dolly Parton. So in 1967, when he graduated, he landed a job as an associate clinical professor of pediatrics at USC's medical school. And he was there for 14 years.
Oh my God. Big L for USC.
And that's where he really started to hate kids. He was like, because like these were all hippies.
Oh, right.
He was like, he hated them so much. He was like, I do not want to be involved in
California
the education of children.
college students.
Yeah. Like in the 60s through 70s. Like,
yeah.
he felt like society was losing its moral compass and didn't have any solid principles to stand on anymore.
Society's always losing its moral compass. And look, we're all fine.
Yeah.
We turned out fine.
I know. Look at me now. I'm on a couch.
Look at me now. I'm a podcaster.
All the protests against the Vietnam War seemed to him like young people were just rejecting authority, which...
They hate that. They do love authority.
Which they were rejecting authority.
Yeah.
Because authority is not necessarily correct.
No.
Like, it's like, oh, well, no, you're going to do it because I say you're going to do it, because that the government should treat citizens like a scolding mother treats a child, or an aging Republican treats a small dog.
These figures of authority were also only put there by the populace. And
so now if the populace is now rejecting you,
people
then get
are rejecting that. Yeah. That is the whole point of democracy, right?
Well, they don't
people
love
can reject
democracy.
This.
They love America. And those two things are not really that related.
The Vietnam War at this point was incredibly unpopular.
In his mind, this whole era showed that kids in society in general were basically falling apart morally and ethically.
Oh my God, it's always kids these days. It's always kids these days.
Oh, that's really weird to see two people looking in the window across the street. They're like, what are these bitches doing? Are you nasty little fucks podcasting? Don't wave to them. They're gay. Dobson became convinced that families were completely breaking down, which really shaped how he thought about parenting and keeping society in line. All these experiences pushed him to write his book, Dare to Discipline, in 1970, which basically told parents they needed to take charge and be the boss with their kids, and he was all for using physical punishment to keep them in line. Dare to Discipline, as if parents...
As if parents weren't.
Right? It's like, we need to bring back beating our children. And it's like, bitch, when did you stop?
When did you stop?
You beat anything you can get your hands on.
70s.
I know. Like, what are you talking about?
Half of you are beating your children until they're dead. Like,
yeah. They call it beaten child syndrome. He strongly believed that having respect for people in charge was basically what kept society from falling apart.
You know what makes me not respect people? People who have to use physical violence to get their point across.
Well, because they seem emotionally unintelligent and incapable of addressing problems.
And it seems like maybe their authority is, or their wishes are, they're not able to convey their wishes in a way that actually convinces anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
which in my mind, that makes you stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't really want
maybe your ideas are bad.
Yeah. Maybe I don't want a stupid leader with bad ideas who has the emotional fortitude after being told no that a toddler has.
Yeah.
And honestly, most toddlers probably a little more fortitude.
Yeah. So he was a big crybaby. Well, he fought with a dog. He fought with a dachshund.
He was a big little crybaby. Little Miss Crybaby.
Little Miss Crybaby.
And this mentality of we need to control our children in every way because we know what's best for them would
like little puppets.
Be part of he would start from there. And then that would lead him into his "we can stop children from being gay." Because that was,
that's like a straight line.
Yeah, that was one of his biggest things. And he started one of the largest ex-gay organizations that existed. And we'll talk about that after a little break. A little break for being gay.
Let's get ads for gay.
Yeah, for gay.
Gay.
Gay. Are you a child? You're gay. You know what? I'm going to do conversion therapy too, but the other way.
ACAC. All kids are gay. ACAC.
That's beautiful.
Most Titanic narratives end with the survivors being picked up by the Carpathia in the early hours of April 15th, 1912. But that's where my new podcast, After Titanic, begins. Because so many fascinating things happened in the aftermath of the Titanic disaster. From the official inquiries by the American Senate and British Board of Trade, to the dozens of film and television adaptations, to Bob Ballard's expedition to find her, which was actually a covert mission to recover 2 lost U.S. nuclear submarines, to the doomed expedition aboard OceanGate's Titan submersible. My name is Amanda Hoopman, but a lot of my friends call me Hoots. And Titanic has been one of my special interests since I was about 8 years old. So join me as I go on a deep dive into everything that happened after Titanic. Premiering spring 2026.
Dobson put 17 years in at Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, working in their child development and medical genetics department. He needs to stay away from eugenics.
Stay away from kids.
From children and eugenics. Equally and in relation to each other.
Yeah.
He also worked as an assistant to this guy, Paul Popenoe, and did counseling at Popenoe's Institute of Family Relations. And this is where he got his little idea for focusing on the family and his little getting his own organization started.
Popenoe sounds like a conservative cartoon ripoff of Totoro.
Oh, absolutely. This was basically like a marriage counseling place. And then you would go into counseling and they would be like, you need to be more controlling of your wife and you need to be less controlling of your vagina.
Your problem is you don't beat your wife enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Slap her around the mouth sometimes just so she knows who's boss.
If it makes it easier for you, picture as a small dog. Working under Popenoe, he wrote stuff about what he thought men and women's roles should be and why he saw feminism as dangerous.
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah. In 1973, okay, so this is when it happened, and this is what the org is. The American Psychological Association decided homosexuality wasn't a mental illness anymore. Dobson got so mad, he quit the organization completely. This is basically him saying, I'm done with mainstream psychology on this topic. He never went back to USC or the Children's Hospital after that. And eventually started getting his funding through publishers because he's made enough of a name for himself now. He's spoken out about this stuff enough now that people are willing to fund him.
Right.
In the same way that like he would then do the same thing for politicians later on. Because if you have someone like a Jordan Peterson who has a degree in the field that's being
public
spoken
intellectual.
about. Yes, but not a politician who does not have to disclose any donations or right. Like it's really important. And this is something the left sucks at.
Right.
Like, by which I mean like fraud and conspiracy. Like the right is very good at planting specific people around, having like little hush hush moments.
Right.
Like
the left gets really caught up in playing by the rules.
Yeah. The left loves ethics.
Yeah.
And sometimes
that means
stupid.
You lose.
Yeah.
If the guy playing the game with you is cheating,
this isn't an ethics competition, actually. It's a winning competition. And whoever wins, wins. You don't need to like stuff ballots in or whatever, but you could at least get some people from universities who are very much funded by politicians acting like they're not funded by politicians. Mm-hmm. A Christian publisher started funding him, so he began spreading his ideas through radio shows and speaking at events. Again, the first podcaster, basically.
Right.
Since he didn't want to be away from his family all the time, he came up with a smart solution. He'd record his talks on video, the first YouTuber, and send representatives around the country to show them and get funding from evangelical groups.
That's so smart.
I know. He was very savvy and, again, evil.
He was a good businessman.
Yeah. And he was really good at becoming a public figure, but with, like, not that public about it. Like, everyone on the right knew who he was because his videos were being shopped around at conferences.
Right.
The people that listened to him were listening to him, but this was well before the era of, like, reaction videos.
Right. A real, like, Peter Thiel kind of
He's
figure.
operating behind the scenes.
Right.
In the same way that, like, people on the right say, like, George Soros is. Right? Like, he's, like, operating behind the scenes.
Like, I barely know who George Soros is. And I am
literally
one of
only
his
know
paid
from
shells.
memes. Like, I know him from accusations, anti-Semitism, and memes. And I'm assuming he's a billionaire, so he should get what's coming to him, too. Mm-hmm. And if he wants to send me some of that money, I'm not going to say no. One of his biggest hits was a video called "Where's Dad?" about fathers not being around. And just so you know,
that's very funny, actually.
That will make you gay.
Father not being around?
Mm-hmm. By the early 80s, that thing had been watched by around 100 million people, which is a lot of views.
So many million. That's like a third of the U.S. today.
Yeah.
That must have been like almost all of the U.S.
This
back then.
Like, he was incredibly influential in a way I didn't realize when I was looking into him. Like, I thought he would be like, who is that radio host that we've covered.
Rush Limbaugh.
Yes, thank you so much. You're like gay people, radio hosts, things. Kaylin's Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh.
In 1977, Dobson started Focus on the Family, and it turned into this massive media operation by the mid-90s. Like 10 radio shows, 11 magazines, like little conferences,
Okay, so I'm
basketball camps.
Based on the name, Focus on the Family, I'm guessing that this media empire was meant to highlight making sure that mothers have good resources for early childhood development, like nutrition in those 0 to 5 years. That we're making sure that all children have access to nutrition for their entire childhoods. That families can keep roofs over their heads.
Have you heard about gay people?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's mostly about that.
Okay. Some gay people are families.
Oh,
Is it
no,
supporting
no,
gay
no.
families?
No, it's sort of like. So, have you heard about straight people?
Yes.
Yes, those are families when they're together,
And when they have
when they're
babies.
not together, they're sinners.
Mm-mm.
So, okay, there's this one. He pulled up this study at one point and was like, obviously, we can't have gay families because look at this study. It says children without both a mother and a father do like 60% less well in school and general health. But then the person who did the study was like, oh, no, this.
I mean, like a 2-parent household. It doesn't
That's
matter.
literally
the
all
gender
they
of the
meant. They're
parents.
like, we didn't look at gay families at all in
Because
this.
if you have a single-parent household, they have to work more hours and they get to spend less time with their
spent on
children. And
more stress. Like, and I'm, funnily enough, having money for
helps
your children
Yeah.
helps the children. Healthier food, time to cook for them. Tutors, if maybe they're falling behind in school, maybe enrichment,
Yeah.
like a ball for their cage.
Some hobbies. Yeah. People tend to do this like very wag the dog thing too, where they're like, richer children have higher IQs, therefore they've earned their money. And it's like,
Wealthier people.
richer children do better in school because they already had the resources to begin with. Like,
Yeah, and outside of school, if they're ever struggling, they now have
they have
resources
tutors.
there.
Yeah.
And often schools in wealthier neighborhoods have more funding.
yes,
Like
very
it's like,
much so.
Like these children aren't any better. Little Miss Gifted program.
There was actually a study several years ago, so it might be out of date now. I don't know. But I think I was listening to like This American Life or something that talked about it.
Hey, Ira.
This study found that like if you send like when wealthier kids with like wealthier, higher performing kids get sent to school with like a public school with maybe even an underperforming public school with other children, they found no detriment to the wealthier kids' education, but all of their peers, their poorer peers, suddenly started doing better in testing. So literally just having peers and friends with more resources caused kids to like perform better on tests.
That's crazy.
So it's like an argument for like
Shipping them out.
literally shipping them out for like doing more like magnet programs
Yeah.
and stuff is like actually we shouldn't be like segregating the poor kids from the rich kids. We should be mixing them all together. Then obviously you
to
get
the
issues.
harm of no one.
you
hopefully.
might get issues with bullying and stuff, but as far as like testing and but maybe
That's
you won't
why
get
I think
issues with bullying.
every class should have one gay kid. So there's one main bully. Mm-hmm. Or there's one main person to bully.
Yeah,
And then everybody can forget about bullying the poor kids for
being poor.
having like Adidas
Yeah.
tracksuits or whatever. I don't know what the kids are wearing today. For not having TikTok Premium or what have you.
Right. Now we're going to get a bunch of comments saying that I'm misremembering
That's fine.
that study.
Oh no, don't comment on my YouTube
Oh no,
video.
algorithm, don't yell at me. I did say I'm going to start slipping more
Lies.
more lies into my episodes so that people comment to correct me.
So this is how it works.
Yeah.
Every single time you hear us say something wrong,
We did it on purpose.
we did it on purpose because of how much we know better.
It's so true. And when you tell me that, you are just playing into my plan.
6D chess.
That's right.
So by 1995, they also had like little like newsletters they would send out to churches, including sermons. So they would like send churches sermons. Like they were controlling
That's
the
so
entire
lazy.
fucking
Like,
South.
what are we paying the pastors for?
Oh my God. Well, are we? Oh yeah. They pass it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Join our Patreon donation bin.
Oh my God. Sending around our little tithe.
That's so cute. By 1995, they were working with a budget of over $100 million a year.
That's crazy.
That's crazy money.
In 1995
That's
money?
mad cash. Do you know what
You
I'd
said
be buying?
95?
Yeah, 1995.
What is
Do you want me
that?
to check?
Yeah,
1995.
$100 million in 95 money. 30 years ago.
Like roughly double.
Okay. So yeah, they could have paid for Titanic with like just
Yeah. You could have built the
Just out of pocket.
Titanic.
Just out of pocket. They could have paid for James Cameron's Titanic.
So yeah, $100 million a year to focus on something that like I honestly think everybody was pretty already focused on.
Their families.
Yeah, I don't think at any point the majority of people were not focused on the family.
Yeah. Very few people get distracted from their families, and usually when they do, their kids get taken from them.
Yeah. But I guess he didn't want to focus on the family. He wanted to limit the family to what he deemed healthy. Which like...
And if there's a man who knows health,
Oh, yeah.
it's Mr. James, Mr. Jim Dobson.
Okay, so during this big White House conference on families, which is an insane sentence, in 1979 to 1980, the whole event was supposed to be just celebrating different types of families. And Dobson was so mad that he tried, and he was like, this is literally about families, and nobody invited me to talk about it.
The guy who focuses on families.
I can kind of get it. Like, I get it a little. But, like, yeah, it's insane to say it.
It would be like if they had a ghost conference and they didn't invite you.
Exactly. It'd be really funny if its phone smashed when I did that. Or just, like, I tapped on it and it broke, like, along. So what he did is what a YouTuber does when they feel like they need political pressure to be put on a corporation or the government.
Silenced.
He's being silenced. He's on his radio show. And
I've been demonetized.
yeah, they sent 80,000. He got 80,000 letters sent to the White House to be like he should be involved.
I feel like that's overkill. That's too many thousands of letters.
I know.
I would have sent one, but it would have been very strongly worded.
I wouldn't send any. I would say I was going to do it.
And then I'd forget.
Yeah, I would forget immediately after saying I was going to do it. The only way I sign a little petition thing is if they fill it all in for you and you just need autocomplete.
Oh, yeah,
to,
yeah.
fill in your
like a little
stuff.
DocuSign.
Yeah, and then they have the little thing for you. And then I always add a little customization at the top. Like, right. I am a very real doctor and I'm very upset about the issue at hand today, whatsoever that may be. So this was when he realized that he had like actual political power to like pressure people. Like this is when he first weaponized his followers. Every horrible influencer at some point in their career realizes that if they like attack somebody else, their weird little fans will follow along. So this was his moment. And he was like, you know what?
I'm going to attack the president.
Yeah. And he did really good with it. And then he was like, well, if it worked on the president, I think it could work on gay people.
Who's more powerful than the president? The gays.
Well, I have always said that. He got really close with Reagan during this time.
A likely suspect.
He was one of the people who started the Family Research Council in 1981, which is a federal lobbying group. So now he has focus on the family, which can create documents that they feed to Family Research Council, which now actually has like some legislative sway. And all these organizations gave him way more power to influence actual laws and people. So he was just like, he had the money and was basically able to like be his own lobby group.
Right.
Like he had the funding, he had the reach, he had a network in place, and like was focused on the gays. Oh my God, focus on the faggots. That's a good fucking name, sir.
Register that domain name.
I will.
Yeah.
Hold on. Set reminder for today at 7 p.m. Focus on the faggots. Will Siri write that? Oh.
She did?
Yeah, fucking homophobic. Got her.
Siri, is that your word? Are you allowed to say that word? Wait, ask her if she's gay.
Siri, are you gay? I don't have a sexual orientation.
Oh, she's asexual.
Ace Queen. In 1998, Focus on the Family started this program called Love One Out. Like one out, like it won.
Like W-O.
Yeah, not like rub one out.
Yeah.
But love one out.
Love one out would be hilarious, though.
It was headed by Dobson's associate, John Polk, an ex-gay with a beard he called his wife. Love One Out was a gay conversion therapy program, but I'll just call it torture.
Oh, no.
Dobson ramped up promoting this program in 2000, tying it into the bigger push against gay marriage that the Christian right was working on. Love One Out believed that the Bible saw homosexual behavior as a sin. James Dobson said, the sin of homosexual behavior, like all sins, can be forgiven and healed through God's grace shown in Christ's life and death. All sexual sin messes with who you are as a person more than other sins do, because sexual stuff goes really deep in your character, and changing it is slow and tough. But it's still possible. I love that sexual sins are worse, because you're like, your horny is like deeper than your like coveting your neighbor's car.
Right. I mean, a lot of like modern Christian attitudes towards sin are very Calvinist in that like they're anti-fun.
Yeah.
And the more fun something is, or the more pleasurable or enjoyable it is, the more like it directly correlates with how sinful it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if this brings you, you know, like if being gay and having a relationship with a same-sex partner brings you joy and fulfillment and also like sexual pleasure, then it's one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah, because it's about you, and it's about making your life better and enriching yourself and achieving something you want for yourself that is not about like continuing on the white race, Christianity,
right?
The family you should be focusing on.
Dominance.
Mm-hmm. Love One Out claimed that the media and other people have gotten it wrong about male homosexuality being something you're just born with. Contrary to the popular myth that homosexuality is genetic, being attracted to the same sex is something that could be prevented and treated. I don't know everyone I know is gay except for you. And I don't know anyone that's like, oh, it's genetic. They're just like, this is just how I've always been. Nobody has said it's genetic. Like, that's a very specific claim. That's not the same as it being innate. Like,
it literally wouldn't be genetic. Unless it's like a recessive gene, I guess.
Well, I actually like the later child theory.
Yeah, for at least boys.
Yeah.
It wasn't studied on girls. But yeah, that like almost kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, it'd be
a funny little quirk.
Genetic.
No, I wouldn't call it genetic.
Like, it's just like a quirk of, I guess, all of our genes. Like it's a quirk of humanity. And a quirk of all creatures.
Well, lots of animals are gay.
Homosexuality has been observed in fact, a number of species.
Most animals are gay.
Yeah.
That's
Some
why
more
they're
than
always
others.
on all fours, I always say.
Aren't giraffes like more
like 90%
gay?
of giraffe sex is gay sex. Yeah.
It's so cute for them.
I know.
And like 90% of bonobos are bisexual.
Yeah, they have like little orgies and stuff.
Yeah, it's cute. Nature is beautiful.
Nature is beautiful. Have you ever seen two giraffes wrap their necks around each other?
You ever seen a crew of bonobos just getting it on?
Love one out.
Love one out.
Their conference is focused on what they called the family problems that can cause someone to develop same-sex desires, insisting that homosexuality isn't normal and claiming gay activists want to completely change America by convincing everyone that homosexuality is normal and healthy. And like, yes,
I mean,
they do.
It is normal and healthy. It's fine.
I don't care. Like, they want to change America. It's like, well, they want people to know it's normal and healthy. And if that to you changes like the vital stuffs that make up America, well then sure, whatever, America can change, but that's incidental. They really do act like this isn't like the end goal is to destabilize America. And this is just one of the cute, fun ways we've decided to do it.
Conservatives in many ways are much like cats in that they think that
don't like
all
change.
change is horrible.
Dangerous.
They start screaming even if the change is like, I need to put you in your carrier to take you to the vet.
Yeah.
Or
you're going to make me get the jab?
I'm moving a house at the moment,
Yeah.
at time of recording. By the time this comes out, I will be fully moved in. And my cats are behaving as if it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
They're actually getting something better. The change to their metaphorical America is a good one because they're getting a bigger place and more room. And they're getting a little area of outdoor space that they don't have at the moment. But they are so against any form of change whatsoever that they won't even allow good things to happen to them. And I just think maybe some conservatives should sit on that and think about that for a little while. And even if we don't, I'll outlive them.
See, I think that's beautiful.
If this podcast shows us anything, everyone dies. Everyone will be outlived.
And that's got to be worth something. So this may sound familiar, but these conferences had a lot of meetings about, well, they wouldn't use the word grooming, but the pro-gay agenda inside schools with teachers and curriculums teaching their children to be gay.
Yeah. They,
So they made a list of things to watch out for. If you were trying to look for some homosexual promotion to see if it was happening at your school.
Oh my God, homosexual promotion?
That's a gorgeous
just like,
tea.
That's Pride Month sales.
Yeah. But like just the phrase homosexual promotion.
Enter my homosexual promotion code at checkout for 50% off.
So in order
Damn
to...
it, I wish we had a sponsor for this episode.
We will never have a sponsor. This podcast is a little too much.
It's not really sponsor friendly.
Yeah. So support us on Patreon. Thank you.
Please.
So some of the things they want you to watch out for because they're promoting being gay. Anti-discrimination policies. Programs to stop anti-gay bullying. Openly gay teachers. Teaching children about the existence of AIDS.
What? The existence of AIDS?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought...
And sex ed, of course. But even talking to the kids about AIDS lets them know it's still... Because the thing is, you don't just be like, oh, don't be gay or you'll get AIDS. Because then they'll be like, what's gay? That sounds fun.
Wasn't AIDS the best thing that happened to conservatives? Because it ran rampant in queer communities?
Well, AIDS wasn't stopping people from having sex en masse. And they didn't want you to have gay sex. So like... While they're happy gay people are dying, they don't want children to be taught about it because then you're opening, like you're still teaching them about gay sex. If you're like,
right.
If you have gay sex, you're going to get AIDS. And they're like, if I have what? So you could do what to who? In the what? With my, like that's the focus on the family way to do it. But I'm sure there were a lot of Christian
science.
I'm sure there were lots of Christian organizations like my Catholic school that was like, condoms are 0% effective against pregnancy or AIDS.
I figured they would have said something like that.
That's what I got.
And they would have said
all
like...
that taught the children in my class was, then what's the point of using a condom?
Yeah, don't use condoms.
And there were a lot of pregnant people in my grade 10 class that got pregnant after that little fucking grade 9 sex ed that we had.
Right.
Taught by a religion teacher.
So I guess I found it surprising because so many people were calling it like gay plague and like a curse from God for being gay.
Immunodeficiency.
So I would have assumed that they would have recommended teaching if you are gay at all, whether or not you have sex, you will get AIDS.
And obviously, like any actual pro-gay, like Pride Month shit or whatever, like all of that shit is automatically off the table. On September 19th, in 2000, while John Pock, the guy who started Love Went Out with Dobson, he was on a speaking tour.
Love Went Out is so funny because it does sound like a gay organization. Really does. Like,
which is so funny because they always do this. They always make it sound like it's something good when it's something bad. He was spotted inside a gay bar called Mr. P's in Washington.
Mr. P's is a great name.
I know. A customer recognized him and contacted Wayne Besson from the Human Rights Campaign, Truth Wins Out.
Truth Wins Out, that's great.
And other gay rights groups. And I love the idea of being like, oh, I just saw this bitch at the fucking bar.
I know. It actually makes me like incredibly depressed how many like anti-gay legislators are like self-hating closeted people.
I know.
I know people like to like dunk on them like that's like a win for the left, and it just
gay
makes
people
me,
hate themselves. Yeah. We won.
It just makes me like very sad and very like kind of sick to my stomach for them. Like what led you to be this way? Like what kind of abuses did you suffer growing up to turn you into this?
And I see a lot of arguments specifically about this where people are sort of like, well, they hurt the community, so fuck them. And like, yes, fuck them. But that doesn't mean I don't look at them and feel an immense amount of pity about like living every single day, having been convinced since you were a child that a core part of you, and even they admit it's a core part of you, is so wrong that the only way that you can make up for it is to hurt yourself and other people like you. Like, what a dark waste of a life.
Right.
Like, that is a person living their entire life having been so convinced to hate themselves that they are willing to hurt themselves and other people for no reason. Absolutely no reason, to no benefit to anyone and to the detriment of everyone. And that's like that's a shame. That should not happen. And I derive no joy from knowing that there are people living that life. Like I would much prefer there not be these hypocrites running around. Yeah. As much as we get like a cute little like Schadenfreude moment. Yeah. Like I actually would rather have like a little bit of queer joy over that.
It's like there doesn't need to be a hell because they're kind of already in it. Like it's,
and if there is, they're going to it.
Yeah.
Because there's no place in the Bible that's like, hey, by the way, I want you not to be gay, but I also want you to hurt as many people as possible and show no love to anyone in the world and deceive your loved ones for the rest of your and their lives.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I don't remember that passage of the Bible. To be fair, I've never read the Bible. Too many pages.
Too many pages, too small writing, and it's honestly not accessible. Like the language. So he emailed Wayne Besson from the Human Rights Campaign, Truth Wins Out, and other rights groups. But Besson was like, oh, no, I'm on my way. I'm coming down to the bar. It wasn't just like, oh, we're going to publish this tomorrow. He was like, I will be there in half an hour. Yeah. And 40 minutes later, he showed up and confronted him in the bar. And he was like, oh, me? Oh, no. Oh, I'm not John Polk. I'm John Clint.
Stupid. You know, if he was a real
John Clint.
If he knew a YouTuber, he would have been like, I'm just here doing research.
Yeah. But he didn't. Because ex-gays don't have friends.
It's true.
Especially not in the industry.
No.
So he was like, no, I'm John Clint. Well, you don't have to say your name's John.
Yeah.
Is that Angus knocking around one of those pearls
If you want
that's been in here?
Yes. If you want to pretend you're someone else, the first thing you need to say is like, oh my God, I get that all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. No, I just look a lot like him.
No, I'm just bald and I also have a both hands throat tattoo. That's the thing. I've had people before, I think like 2 people in my entire life be like in person.
Right.
I've had people online be like, I know I recognize you from somewhere. You're that like annoying fag on YouTube that does reaction videos.
Grindr sounds like a magical place.
But I can't like pretend that I'm not me with this, like all these extremely recognizable tattoos.
I don't have identifying features.
And I'll be wearing like an Ethel Kane hat or something. Like it's just a very like, am I wearing it right now?
Yeah, you are. You're wearing a pervert's hat, which for this episode is iconic. There she is.
Dobson would have loved this. So he was like, no, my name's John Clint. And then also I do think if you're going to pretend to be somebody else, you shouldn't use the first name.
No.
And I'm like, no, I'm Kaylin French Press. I'm Kaylin Hoots. Like, no, that's stupid. Who's John Clint? Clint's not even a last name. So he left the bar, but people had obviously started taking photos of him.
Right.
And eventually he finally admitted he was in the bar, but he was like, listen, I just had no idea it was a gay bar.
Oh, I thought it was just a bar.
I stopped
where
in.
they serve Mr. Pibb.
I was at Mr. P's. I stopped in to quickly use the bathroom, he said. But then people are like, no, he was here for an hour and was flirting with people. And somebody came up and said, are you gay? And he was like, yep. Just very bad at being undercover. I love it.
Oh my God.
So obviously he got called in by Daddy Dobson, who now had to grill him about what happened. And apparently he tried to avoid giving a straight answer. But eventually he confessed that it's like, yeah, I was there. I was looking to connect with other men just to sort of like, you know, talk to them and reach out to them.
I was going to take them back to my house and then I was going to gay conversion therapy them.
Yeah. I was gonna,
it was an op.
We were going to have sex so bad they'd never want to have sex with a man again. Actually, that would be a great little bit.
Like a really good CIA program.
Yeah.
Operation
FAG.
Mm.
Yeah.
They always have dumb names. It'd be like Operation Pixie Dust or something. Something homophobic.
Do you know about Fruit Machine?
No. Is that one of their operations? Are you going to do an episode about that?
Okay, I will do that.
Someone's going to be dead.
The operation is dead.
Yeah.
So I'll do an episode on Operation Fruit Machine at some point.
See, they always have like slightly homophobic racist names.
No, this was like a machine to turn people gay so that your enemies would be too busy fucking to fight you.
Because as we know, gay sex is way hotter than straight sex.
And as we also know, currently that never happens in the military. Men famously never ask, nor tell, nor fuck in the barracks. So he had to take a 6-month hiatus, and then he got to come back. And then went back to his job as manager of the homosexuality and gender division at Focus on the Family.
Oh, it is cute that they have like a little DEI division.
Honestly, I would love if we had like merch that said like homosexuality and gender division.
That's cute. It's like Joy Division.
Roots is so gender.
I am gender.
Welcome to the stage, Gender Division. In April 2013, Paul completely changed his tune and rejected his old beliefs about gay conversion therapy. He announced that even though he's still a devout Christian, he now identifies as gay and not formerly gay, and believes that trying to change people's sexual orientation through therapy is pointless and damaging.
Well, that's a positive.
Yeah. Well, that's literally what always happens with every single ex-gay person. They all come out and they relapse. Say, hey, by the way, like not even that. Like, I mean, yes, they all do relapse, but they know it's not working. They
know you can't
And the thing
change
is,
it.
they always have known that.
Yeah.
Like, from the very beginning, throughout the entire time, they are never convinced that they're straight. Not for a minute. Because they, like, attraction is such a, like, subconscious thing. Like, you just look up and you look down, you check someone out, and then you're like, oh, still gay.
In the pre-industrial period, we all, like, if this was you would just be like, okay, well, then I'm going to become a nun or a monk, and I'm just going to go have sex with all the other nuns or monks. And that was a perfectly acceptable thing to do.
Yeah. Did we do the gay nun?
I don't think so.
Like Julie Daubigny or something?
I don't think so.
Okay. If we did do it, I probably did it and I just don't remember. But anyways, let us know if we have done it. Leave a comment. And if not, then I'll do it because
I think
she was hilarious. I think she was bisexual, actually. Don't cancel me. For my
I think
erasure.
I've heard of her, and I think she was bisexual. But I think the only nun we've done on this podcast is Mother Teresa.
She was a nun, wasn't she? And now she's dead. 1-to-1 correlation. Don't be a nun or you'll die. So he said, after he left the movement, today, I do not consider myself ex-gay, and I no longer support or promote the movement. Please allow me to be clear. I do not believe that reparative therapy changes sexual orientation. In fact, it does great harm to many. Today, I see LGBT people for who they are, beloved, cherished children of God. And then there was like a bunch of an apology that I don't feel like reading because I personally didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So I would never apologize. And I guess we'll take a little break.
Okay.
The state branches of Focus on the Family started drafting and advocating for laws to ban gay marriage, beginning with Nebraska Initiative 416. This was officially called the Ban Same-Sex Marriage Act, which at least it was like called.
Honest,
it says, it said what it was. What it said on the tin.
It was not like defense of marriage, like they would call it later on.
Yeah.
Like
this ballot measure in 2000 that changed Nebraska's constitution to make it illegal for the state to recognize or perform same-sex marriages, civil unions, or domestic partnerships. The vote passed on November 7th, 2000, with 70% of voters supporting it.
Oh my God. Fuck Nebraska.
I know. Fuck that little house in Nebraska. And it became Article I-29 of the state's constitution. It's since been overturned by federal courts, and same-sex marriage is obviously legal now in Nebraska.
For now.
Legal now, but for now.
Yeah. By the time this episode comes out, it might not even be legal.
Dobson's reasoning was that allowing gay people to marry would somehow harm kids being raised in what he considered proper Christian households.
Maybe I don't want to raise my kid in a proper Christian household.
I know. Have you considered that I'm not Christian?
Yeah.
Actually, the answer is no, he is not. He's like, well, it doesn't matter if you're Christian because God is real. In 2003, he stepped down as president and CEO of Focus on the Family. And in February 2009, he quit being chairman of the board too. There was somebody taking over named Jim Daly, and they were realizing that their extremely aggressive, virulently, openly homophobic and anti-feminist messaging was like not
resonating.
It wasn't resonating in the same way. So they wanted something
not appealing to the kids.
Yeah, it needed to be a little more subtle. Mm-hmm. And Jim Daly was able to do that. And Dobson and Daly were arguing about this like pretty constantly. I did not agree. Like he was like, no, we need to keep going the way we're going. We need to be as hard as possible. And he was like, right, but that's not working.
Right.
After Dobson left, Focus on the Family actually hired someone whose job it was basically to keep pushing Dobson's exact same message. So I imagine that he got Jim Daly to take over and then got somebody in again to just like keep going the same way. And this way, he didn't have to be involved because I think the real issue was his association to everything. Like, he couldn't let go. And while having him there, while somebody else was in charge, but like he's still on the board, he's still acting like, I created this organization. Everybody's like, even if Jim Daly says something, people are like still looking over him like, he says we're going to do it. Are we going to do it?
He's like the Walt Disney of homophobia.
Yeah. Like, if he's in the room, nobody's going to listen to anybody else other than the man himself.
Right.
So we got like a mouthpiece.
Other than Little Miss Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. But since he wasn't tied down to the organization anymore and didn't have to worry about losing his tax-exempt status, he can get way more political and do like real lobbying for himself.
Right.
The way Dobson saw it, marriage should be a forever kind of thing.
Right. No divorce.
Between a man and a woman.
Between a 16-year-old woman and her
40-year-old
47-year-old man.
Yeah. And obviously traditional family roles. Father goes to work. Mama cooks the kids up. Mm-hmm. His take was that if you're a married woman with kids under 18, you should be focusing on being a mom instead of having a career.
So in order to do that, we're gonna lobby for families to have more financial support, more educational support.
That would be so helpful, but no. And he had some like really interesting, and by interesting, I mean insane views on how this should all go down. In order to reinforce gender roles, husbands and wives should be like working on that in front of their kids to like convey, like, obviously you should be attracted, like little Timmy needs to be attracted to women, and we will display that for you by being like extremely sexual in front of your children, but not in like,
oh, so grooming your kids.
Yeah, basically.
But grooming them to be straight.
Yeah. Wives,
this is why they believe in grooming, because they do it.
Oh, well, I mean,
they're groomers.
Yeah. Well, very specifically, yes. Like, I think I brought this up in What is a Groomer, our video. And definitely in the Gender Critical series. But hiding information from your child to specifically groom them into being
the way
a specific thing that is the way you want is grooming. Telling children about the existence, like telling children the truth that gay and trans people exist is not grooming. Like portraying reality accurately.
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
I grew up in an incredibly queer-friendly household. And
you're a
lo and
podcaster.
behold, I'm a straight podcaster.
Yeah.
Who's gonna marry a man.
Yeah. If your parents could have groomed you, they would have never wanted you to be a podcaster or straight. Dobson basically told wives that they should use their interpersonal skills and sex appeal, because women have those things, to get their husbands to shape up and be better partners. His theory was that this would then turn guys' lustful feelings into real love. That you have to like tame your man. Now that they're in love, they're not like thinking about sex all the time because they're getting it. So now their minds are free to do useful things for society and like build a house or whatever. It's very like similar to like the NoFap movement's mentality, where like, well, I guess it's the exact opposite, but like, yeah. As long as you're not thinking about sex. The goal is the
same though. Like, don't think about sex all the time.
Don't think about sex all the time, and you'll basically become superhuman.
You won't become superhuman. The only thing that I will concede to these people is that they have a really unhealthy relationship with sex.
Yeah.
And they are the only people I can think of that actually think about sex that much. Like, the people I know who are like what you would consider like sexually liberated, who are, you know, queer or, you know, have sex outside of marriage, they simply do not think about or talk about sex nearly as much as
absolutely not.
Repressed conservatives. No. Like, there's like a huge like anti pornography movement at the moment, and you can bleep that word if you want to. And a lot of it is a lot of like conservative, I guess, anti-porn activists who talk about like porn sickness and like porn addiction and that kind of thing. And I genuinely believe that these guys are addicted to it.
Oh, yeah.
But the existence of porn doesn't mean that like porn is not like an addictive drug. Like where if you watch some of it, suddenly you'll become you'll be watching it at all hours of the day to the detriment of all of your relationships.
Well, you can tell that's not true because most people don't.
No, and a lot of people watch porn. Like your addiction to porn is because of a something that is lacking or wrong in your life and in your psychology, and that's like I to the extent that I have some sympathy for these people, because like I do think some of these people need to go to therapy.
Well, I think a lot of it actually comes down to nothing, like having nothing to do with the porn itself.
No,
like
it could have been anything.
I know people who
be
are
like my
addicted
addiction to Twitter,
to flipping light switches.
Yeah,
like I can see the need to like do an act that gives you like a dopamine hit or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like that makes sense to me in terms of things that could lead to an addiction.
Right.
But that's not porn's fault.
No.
Like that has nothing to do with porn. That is your brain chemicals doing and whatever the fuck they're doing.
Banning it is actually not going to solve the underlying issue that's causing the addiction. No.
Well, you can try, but you can't ban porn.
We've done it before.
No.
We've done it before.
And gay people started selling pictorials.
Yeah. Just like banning alcohol in the US didn't suddenly get rid of alcoholics. It just created the mob. Like, so like again, like all of this is tying back to like
mob.
Porn mob would be so cute.
I know.
But like all of this is like I guess the point that I'm getting at is these people are so hyper fixated on sex and think about sex far more than the people that they openly sexualize.
The perverts.
Yeah, than the perverts. And actually the reason that they think that people who are more sexually liberated are perverts is because they cannot look at another person without sexualizing them. Yeah.
They're like, what kind of sex do you have? That's disgusting.
It's fucking weird. Like, I
never look at someone and wonder, like I might look at someone and be like, that person's attractive.
Yeah.
In fact, I do that with nearly every man I see.
Mm-hmm. Especially if he has a mustache.
But I never like start picturing having sex with them, and I never picture the kind of sex that they would be having.
Same. I
might be like someone so beautiful, and then if they came up to me and were like, would you like to have sex? I would like be sure, but I probably would never picture it.
No.
I would never be like thinking about the ways in which other people have sex because I simply don't.
Right.
Maybe because I have my own.
Right.
I'm not spending my time
because
a lot of incels spend a lot of time thinking about sex.
Yeah.
But specifically because they feel like it's something that they should be having that other people are having that they're not. So it's all based around envy.
The cock carousel. They think that all women are having tons of sex all the time. And as a woman, I can tell you that is very much not true.
No.
Sometimes it's years between. And you know what? Like, that's like fine and has never bothered me. Like has never, because I just don't, like it is not something, again, like as somebody who has suffered in the past with eating disorders, like that mindset never goes away. And I'm never not thinking about food. I'm never not thinking about food. And I just think that like the whatever hang-ups you have around sex are causing you to think about it far more than is like healthy. Like it is detrimental to your own mental health.
Like moderation in literally everything.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. Like if you want to go on the weekend and get fisted by 30 different guys, I think that's great.
It's beautiful.
I wouldn't do that because I could not find 30 guys that I would want to be in a room with. But like the idea that then means that you have an unhealthy relationship to sex, but that someone who doesn't do that but constantly thinks about sex
Always
all the
talking about
time is like
sex.
somehow healthier.
No.
Is like, that's nonsense to
I
me.
would rather you go get fisted
Yeah.
and stop talking and thinking about sex. Because
Yeah.
it gets
I would
to a
rather you
point.
go get fisted and stop talking.
It gets to a point.
He saw straight marriage as the foundation that holds civilization together, and claimed that tolerance and diversity were just code words that LGBT advocacy groups were using as part of some bigger plan to get kids on board with gay rights.
I mean, I guess kind of.
Well, like as in that they're no longer
like,
going to bully
gay
each
people should
other.
have rights.
Yeah. In that that's true and good.
Gay rights isn't like, is it like a
It is kind of
recruitment
funny
thing?
to be like, I have this conspiracy theory and stay with me. But I think that gay rights organizations are trying to get people to believe that gay people have rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I believe your conspiracy.
Yeah.
I believe that GLAAD, the HRC, and PFLAG are all working together. Because they're a community.
They are. Yeah. They're organizations with a great deal of overlap and they cooperate. Speaking of Human Rights Campaign, I was just saying the other day, I donate to them and I always get emails.
Hillary?
Yeah, I always get emails from them that are like, your HRC membership.
I can't.
And I always think that I've signed on to hit some Hillary Rodham Clinton thing. I'm like, why is she emailing me?
Yeah.
I thought you were supposed to stay away from emails.
Yeah, I was about to say, how many more emails do you need, Queen? Not her trying to pawn some of her emails off on you.
Stay away from me, Hillary.
The We Are Family Foundation, he also said that like PFLAG and HRC were working with them, shot back saying Dobson had gotten them mixed up with a completely different group, also called We Are Family, that actually does support gay youth. It was actually very funny.
It's
There's
very
2
confusing.
We Are Family campaigns,
Yeah.
and he started to harass the wrong one.
Hilarious.
Well, this is what happens when you name yourself We Are Family.
Yeah, when you name yourself after a classic queer anthem.
So there, like, I think it was like there was like a SpongeBob DVD. Yeah, this is what it was. Okay. In the winter of 2004 to 2005, this group called the We Are Family Foundation sent out about 60,000 free DVDs to elementary schools across America. The DVDs had cartoon characters like SpongeBob, Squared Pants,
Squared.
talking about tolerance and diversity. Dobson freaked out and said these buzzwords were just a sneaky way to push homosexuality on kids.
How dare they queer my straight
Yeah.
SpongeBob, straight icon SpongeBob SquarePants.
It's so dumb. So he started to harass them, and eventually they had to stop selling or sending out these DVDs. And Nancy Hunt, the foundation's president, said that they were just like sitting in boxes collecting dust because he was able to harass like every school that was showing this
that's
SpongeBob
hateful.
DVD. So there was like a period of time where Dobson was like, it was like Dobson versus Sponge Pants.
SpongePants.
Squared Pants.
Squared Pants.
I've never seen an episode. I watched half of the first episode of SpongeBob SquarePants and was like, oh, he's quite annoying, isn't he?
But this was Squared Pants, right? To get around copyright?
No. That was just me not knowing his name.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that they made like a...
Okay, that would be amazing.
Like they just put a D,
and I don't
and
think
somehow
that would,
Nickelodeon didn't come
I was
after
about to
them.
say, and I don't think that will get them around copyright.
No. It would have been cool though if Nickelodeon was like, we're just gonna look the other way because it'd be a really bad look to go after this
I'm assuming they were probably fine with that.
DEI thing. I assume if it was actual SpongeBob that they probably just licensed the character. Because again, like, he's gay.
Because again, who lives in a sponge under the sea? A faggot. Is that no? It's not lives in a sponge.
He lives in a pineapple.
Right. Okay.
He lives in a pineapple.
I'm so close.
And his best friend Patrick lives
Is
under a
sponge.
rock.
Oh. Focus on the Family then put on a conference, also called Love One Out, where everybody gathered around and told their ex-gay stories. PFLAG showed up to protest, questioning whether...
Was that them just going around a circle and talking about all the gay sex that they had?
Pretty sexy.
And now I don't do that anymore.
When it came to the conference, Dobson said, gay activists show up with their minds already made up about who we are and what we stand for, and they think we're full of hate, which just isn't true. No matter what the media says, Focus on the Family isn't trying to spread hatred toward gay people or anybody else.
They always add that or anybody else.
Yeah. And it's like, well, nobody.
I don't care if you're purple.
I don't care if you're gay or purple or normal. Okay, let's take a little break. Advertisement for being normal. Look at ads for being normal, for
Normal
being regular,
people.
for fitting in.
Normal.
Normal.
There's actually a store in Finland called Normal.
I believe that.
So maybe in Finland we'll get ads for them.
As you can guess, Dobson strongly opposed the movement to legalize same-sex marriage. And in his book, Bringing Up Boys, he stated, this disorder is not typically chosen, which is a little based at first. Homosexuals deeply resent being told that they selected this same-sex inclination in pursuit of sexual excitement or some other motive. It is unfair, and I don't blame them for being irritated by that assumption. Who among us would knowingly choose a path that would result in alienation from family, rejection by friends, disdain from the heterosexual world, exposure to sexually transmitted diseases such as AIDS and tuberculosis, and even a shorter lifespan?
Wait, are gay people more likely to get TB?
I don't know.
That doesn't sound right. I mean, amongst a bad bunch, at least they are the ones who aren't saying that gay is a lifestyle choice, and they are conceding that nobody chooses to be gay.
People with AIDS would sometimes get tuberculosis because their immune systems were fucked.
Oh, well, yeah, people with AIDS get everything.
Yeah.
That's like that's the whole virus. That's the disease.
Yeah. So being like, tuberculosis seems a little...
Yeah. Everyone got tuberculosis.
Yeah.
They wrote operas about it.
And I sort of agree with basically everything he said there, but he's using that as a way to say they didn't choose this, but they can choose not to do this. Like, it's not a choice to be gay, but it is a choice to not be gay, and you can make it. And it's like, well, the second half of that
the only choice is celibacy. And it doesn't work. I don't think it doesn't work. And like,
you get
again, why? Why?
Because
literally why?
Because the government isn't interested in protecting people from AIDS.
From AIDS?
Yeah.
That would be the only reason.
Yeah. Which also has nothing to do with gay people.
And by
has
the
everything
2000s.
to do with Ronald fucking Reagan.
Yeah. And by the 2000s, like, we're talking about, like, something where we know how to protect against HIV infections.
He was also arguing
and we also know that not just gay people get HIV infections.
Yeah. That's actually something that they never talk about, which is very, very weird. Mm-hmm. Because you would think that they would want to have a little bit of HIV awareness so that they wouldn't get HIV, but I don't know. I guess I'm trying to ascribe.
I guess they're also against drug use and blood transfusions, so...
Yeah. Get your own fucking blood, Little Miss Greedy.
They're not
Little Miss Greedy veins.
They're not against raw dogging it, and you can still get it from straight sex.
Not me, but people.
It's been said.
He also obviously fought against bills that would not even legalize gay marriage or make it and not affect any family in any way, but just any anti-discrimination laws.
Right.
Because the more discriminated against you are, the less likely you are to gain other rights. Because once you make it illegal to discriminate against gay people,
then we'll start to think of them as human.
Yeah. And then
maybe
why can't they get married? And is it discrimination that they're not allowed to get married? It's a slippery slope, I always say.
Mm-hmm. And then what? Are we marrying our animals, our pets?
Our wives? In 2017, Dobson was one of the first people to sign something called the Nashville Statement. It was put together by the Council on Biblical Manhood and Womanhood.
That's a very funny name.
It's so
I like
dumb.
to imagine that their like seal is like Adam and Eve standing together in the garden.
Yes. Like stepping on the snake.
Yeah.
Like a don't tread on me.
Oh my God, adorable. I want to see that flag.
They laid out like all the conservative evangelical positions on gender roles and sexuality and were like, this is what should be followed. But they also went after all the Christians who supported queer and trans people and saying that if you were okay with that or you allowed it in your family or in your friend circle, you're sinning. And it really like a lot of Christians, Christian liberals, the only way that they're able to reconcile it is they say like, no, I'm like, this is a religion of love. And that's where I'm coming from. Right. So when you start saying you're a bad Christian, if you support queer and trans people, like your son being gay and having a boyfriend or whatever, they start to get a little annoyed. They start to feel persecuted and discriminated against. So you lose a little bit of your power.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of churches and political groups have stopped trying to like push that you're sinning by accepting gay people thing, because that alienates more people than it brings in.
Right.
What you're supposed to do, and if there's any hate preachers watching this is what you're supposed to do. So follow my great advice. But you have to say something like, you have to love all of God's children. Like God teaches you to love your neighbor.
Right.
And loving your neighbor.
Even if they sin.
Yeah. And what you should do is guide them gently back to the path of the Lord. And you can't do that if they're not in your life and if you aren't loving them. And like, that's the way that you are able to
love the sinner, hate the sin.
Exactly. In a 2012 radio show called A Nation Shaken by the Sandy Hook Tragedy, Dobson said the mass shooting was basically God punishing America because the country was accepting gay marriage and abortion.
No, it wasn't.
No.
No, it wasn't.
Define accepting. Define the country. Define a mass shooting was the result of this. Everything about that statement is wrong.
It was another weird little incel, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, this is God. It's not the motive of the shooter.
God loves using shooters as his little soldiers.
That's why he sent a shooter to shoot Mary and tell her that she would be having the baby of God.
To shoot her full of God's cum.
Little Miss IVF.
Oh, she's a sinner.
Oh, Little Miss
IVF
Sinner.
Is a sin.
He also connected mass shootings to the queer and trans movement, claiming that we are attacking what he sees as God's plan for families, and brought up the 2019 El Paso shooting and other mass shootings to make this point. Basically, as long as you can point to something that's going wrong on the planet, you can be like, and that's gay people's fault, because there's always going to be something going wrong.
They used to say this about hurricanes until they started saying that Democrats could control the weather. Which is very funny.
I love my little weather machine.
I wish we could.
All the Democrats, like, on their balconies, in their apartments, in their cities, like, cranking their wind machine. He told parents that they should have, remember earlier when I was like, he told parents that they should, like, model relationships for their kids.
Yeah.
You should also model those relationships with your kids. So parents should have like a romance-like relationship with their opposite sex kid, like daddy-daughter dating.
No.
Telling fathers to take their daughters on special one-on-one time.
Did he do the like purity ceremonies?
Where they're as young as 6. That thing was like the purity ball was started by him. In 1998,
where little girls like basically get married to their dad.
Yeah, and they
their virginity to their
it was
dad.
like he gave his daughter like a golden key or something that she wore around her neck, which was like, I guess, I don't even want to say it. We all know what the key is for.
They think about sex too much. And they think about sex with really young children way too much.
Yeah. Not okay.
Not okay.
Really nasty. He's like, gay and trans people, they're dangerous. They're trying to sexualize your children. And he's like, time for our little daddy-daughter date. Here, may I have the key to your vagina? Like, I want you to wear it around your neck so everybody can see that you're not having sex, because everybody should know whether you've had sex, because everybody is wondering if you've had sex, because everybody is thinking about sex all the time. He was obviously also anti-trans and joined in his little non-TERF rhetoric, just a trans exclusionary radical. A TER rhetoric. Yeah.
TER rhetoric.
By the early 2000s, about 2,000 radio stations were playing his show, which meant he was reaching somewhere between 6 to 10 million listeners.
That's crazy.
His mailing list has over 2 million people, and he was now in publishing. He mostly worked behind the scenes as a political fixer. That's what he called himself, a fixer.
Right.
He never ran for office or publicly led any political groups. Although, like, let's be real, Focus on the Family is a political group.
Yeah. But he wasn't
not like
figurehead.
Yeah. He wasn't running like
for office.
Like the straight log cabin Republicans or whatever the fuck. Right. And this allowed him to keep his credibility as like not a sellout. Like he's an independent thinker when like literally everything he supported was Republican.
Also, like not a sellout is very funny when like the only thing you haven't done is run for public office. Like everything that you've been doing is in the private sector.
Yeah.
You are by definition a sellout.
How would you not be selling out?
Yeah.
Like to who?
You're certainly selling a lot.
Starting in 1980, he built up this whole network of conservative activists. And in 81, he started the Family Research Council. And this allowed him to, like, this is how he became friends with Reagan.
Okay.
So even though all of his things were independent and not political, he had, like, intimate relationships with all of these politicians in the same way that right-wing people are constantly like in the Pizzagate episode that you haven't seen yet. All of the connections between them, it was like they were seen at a dinner together. And it's like, well,
they all live in DC.
Yeah, because they know each other.
Yeah, they know each other.
They talk to each other.
They literally work with each other.
Oh, like, but they're not. But he's not a politician, so in their mind,
he doesn't. But
that allows him to be free of any like political bias, and that's just like simply not true because everybody has political bias.
He's actually shaping political bias.
Yeah,
it's very like Henry Kissinger behavior.
Oh yeah,
who's also like operating behind the scenes and never dreamed of running for office, just like advising.
Yeah. His biggest legislative dream was getting gay marriage banned at the federal level, ideally by changing the Constitution itself. In 2005, he told his biographer that his number one worry was gay activists destroying marriage. Which is like, you must have a very simple
bigger
life.
Problem.
Yeah. He teamed up with Judge Roy Moore starting in the 90s.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod.
Can't wait for your little episode, Judge Roy Moore. Although, like, when some information came to light about Judge Roy Moore,
Mr.
he
Roy?
actually stepped back from him, which is surprising.
Wow.
Yeah. And when he teamed up with Roy Moore, it was so that schools in the States would still, in Alabama would have to keep the 10 Commandments displayed, which I just think is very funny.
Oh my God, they're always doing shit like this, and it's like, why does it matter?
I love the idea of like a child sneaking up behind another child with a pair of like safety scissors and then seeing the 10 Commandment and being like, oh, my bad.
God said no.
And I should probably give these back because I shan't steal. And I'm no longer going to covet my neighbor's wife. There's like kids that have those like little marriage ceremonies where they're like, oh, we're married now. He's like, not for long. James Dobson's Focus on the Family has said that homosexuality is a particularly evil lie of Satan and that transgender ideology is a lie from the pit of hell.
Oh my God, alive from the pit of hell. We are live, lying from the pit of hell.
I like Lie of Satan and Lie from the Pit of Hell as merch as well.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Or like
Write this down.
Like an LGBT shirt. And then like From the Pit of Satan. And
Satan's ball pit.
Lie from the Pit of Hell. No. Evil Lie of Satan and From the Pit of Hell.
From the Pit of Hell.
On the arms. In like that inscrutable metal typography.
The, like, Gothic font.
Yeah. And then anyways, he died on August 21st, 2025 at 89.
Okay.
It was August 21st. So
just a few days ago.
6 days ago.
At time of recording.
So now he's in the pit of, now he's lying in the pit of hell with Satan.
How's it feel? He
I was
can't
waiting
tell
for an
us because
answer.
he's dead.
Finally, he shut his fucking mouth.
Well, glad he's dead. Can't wait to hear more.
This was one of the ones where I knew he was terrible and I knew he was annoying, but I didn't realize how far his reach was, how much like sketchy little impact he had behind the
little
scenes.
Fingers in all the pies.
Yeah, like 100 million people watching your weird little hate crime videos is an insane amount of reach that like I can't even imagine how many votes on like small little propositions like statewide or like citywide thing were influenced by him and his organization. And then on top of that, all the stuff that was sent out to preachers and little pamphlets that were sent out to schools, how they impacted like medical boards, and like it's just
so much of the current right-wing movement. That's
too much power for one person. And I think when someone gets to that amount of power, there needs to be
kill them.
Well, yeah. I was going to say there needs to be a ton of scrutiny, but then following the scrutiny, we should kill them. Yeah. I mean, you need to confirm that they have this much power and it's not just people talking about George Soros or whatever.
Right.
But then after you confirm it, and I guess we need somebody impartial to look through it. So I guess I'll do it. Alone.
Dr. Kaylin Conrad.
Now I'm the one with too much power.
Oh no.
Now I'm going to be shot dead in the street.
Gotta be aboard.
Yeah. And we need to kill them all. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm starting to see a little bit of a flaw in my plan. But anyways, yeah, he's dead. And I think that's beautiful. And if you don't, then you're a bad person. I always say. Mm-hmm. I'm Kaylin Conrad. You can find me on Blue Sky at Kaylin. Twitter, Insta, YouTube, everything else as at Kaylin Conrad.
Oh my gosh. And this is Goose.
This is Goose. He lives here with me.
A little flying visit.
He's my roommate.
Bye. I'm Hoots. You can find me on Twitter at Punished Hoots and on Blue Sky as Hoots. And I also make little YouTube videos on YouTube.
If you want to suggest someone else for us to cover, you can do that over on Patreon. You get access to our suggestion cemetery where you can submit a name as well as a key to the morgue. And that's where we do a little debrief after every episode and talk shit about the episode itself in a little meta way. Sometimes we do something a little more engaging than that, but often it's just the moment.
That was bad.
Yeah. Wow. What a horrible little person we hate. If you're watching this on YouTube, give a little subscribe, hit the little bell. And if you're listening on a podcast app, give us a little 5 stars, a little review, a little rating. Is that it? Is that everything?
We love you.
Yeah. Love you. Goodbye. Thanks to me for editing this episode.